the Crystal Skull. Is that the name of it? That's what I'm going to call it. The Curse of the Crystal Skull. Because if you don't know this urban legend, if the Crystal Skull they found at top of the Bass Pro Shop pyramid that was put there by the founder or the
Indiana Jones.
No, that's the movie with the aliens. There was a real crystal skull that they found. Have you not heard this, Uncle Buck? Oh my God. Let me get the exact urban legend up. So when the crystal skull at the top of the Bass Pro Shop pyramid, they apparently, no, not the crystal skull, the Indiana Jones movie. Okay. So they said that they smelled something in the pyramid and they found a box in the early 1990s at the top that had a crystal skull in it that apparently the person that built it put it up there because he was a weird Egyptologist. He like worshipped some weird Egypt god or whatever. And they took it out of the pyramid. Long story short, they're saying that thing was cursed because it was an ancient Egypt artifact that we removed. And in doing so, unleashed the curse of an ancient deity. I don't know.
It sounds like something Egyptian.
I don't know.
We're Christian.
They
that.
Found Jesus' skull in the top of the pyramid and they moved it. The reason I bring this up is because we talked about Tarik Biberovich on Tuesday, and then the poor bastard tore his ACL yesterday, and what a horrific injury. I just don't.
So thankfully it did come out that there was no ligamentous damage, but watching that video, that is the textbook mechanism of injury of ACL tear. When it happened, he hit and hyperextended that knee. I had zero doubt in my mind that there was an ACL tear, but thankfully he is still young and made of rubber. And so he was able to bounce back, but he did not have ligamentous damage, but he is going to be on the shelf for some time with some, there's going to be some stretching in there at the very least.
If you had hashtag Ask Dr. Drew, I'd have told you he didn't tear his ACL. He's fine. He's just being a big old baby. He did fit in perfectly with the Grizzlies.
Like I said in the group chat yesterday, and like I said on Twitter, our injury luck is so bad that it is literally extending to people that are just whispered in Grizzly circles. There was nothing confirmed. There wasn't a hard contract. This was just hey, the Grizzlies are going to bring him in for some summer league try and see what happens. Boom, hurts his knee. We are that freaking cursed.
We were sniffing a little bit of joy. It's like when you walk to a campsite and they have those really crappy concrete bathrooms. You're 100 feet away and you're like, ooh, not using that. It's like they smelled our joy and they were like, no, we're taking it from you because let's just go through it. What do you think? Yeah,
I think it's less of a curse and more of a karma for constantly sitting players on back-to-back, being weenies. You go look at the 4 teams, or I guess now the 3 teams that are left in the NBA playoffs. And it was even true for Minnesota as well. So Final Four, dude, they didn't take nights off. They played every night, every single night. They didn't nurse anything. It wasn't some kind of return to play plans. Oh, you're healthy? Okay, go play.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Play a lot of minutes.
I was reading something yesterday just about how the Thunder are like that, Drew. They competed every night. They won 68 regular season games. They played the game correctly, but it's just overshadowed by SGA and his tomfoolery and the corniness that is the team. But like Kenny said yesterday on the 2 Buck Sports Show, maybe we need some more guys that are corny about basketball. But yeah, the Thunder. If it wasn't for some of the antics, I would appreciate the Thunder, and if I didn't deep-seated hate them from 2010 through 13. But they competed every night to win 68 games this year.
And it's not only that, but it's you even switch the spotlight over to Hallie, where Hallie didn't have a great first half of the season. He was kind of he even said that he was coming kind of a slow getting back to it from the Olympics, getting on social media. But the dude still went out there and competed every single night. He wasn't, he was mentally, he was in a mental funk, but he didn't let that stem to off the court stuff. He still went out there and he competed. And it's important. It's important.
I do. You've got to keep the main thing. And that's what I feel like all these teams that are left do and what all the good teams do. And I'm hoping that you see guys like SGA and Halliburton and Mike Conley and all these guys, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart. You see these guys have success, and it's different than LeBron because LeBron had the antics. It was the flopping. It was the constantly whining and complaining. It was the blaming anybody but yourself. But now you're looking at who's winning this year, and it's a bunch of guys who are just like hard-nosed, compete every single trip down the court, both sides of the ball for 82 and now 100 games a year. Like that's what I like to see from players who are having postseason success.
Yeah. And it makes rooting for a team like Indiana or the Knicks, not the Thunder, a little bit easier because of the way they compete and they play.
Absolutely. But I mean, I'll be I'm not come around on the Thunder, but they've got everything that you want in spades as well. Yeah. They just happen to be bitter rivals for the last 15 to 20 years for us. And so it's hard for us to give that credit. But I mean, if we weren't just absolute haters, we may be giving them their props, which is like, is this the greatest team that's ever played basketball?
Yeah.
I mean, truly, because their depth, the way they play on both ends, but like the flopping of SGA and then just the Steven Adams flashbacks that I'm currently having of him and Zebo getting into it and those old Thunder teams just. But hey, we have a local Memphis curse expert here in King Meek saying that the curse ends in 2055. So we got a while to go, boys.